Is there anything more noble than the bull?
Sure. Norman Mailer. We're here in beautiful, sunny, gunny Sarasota, Florida, discussing Norman Mailer at the annual Norman Mailer Conference. We're here at the beautiful University of South Florida, Manatee campus.
Home of the bull.
Home of the bull. And, of course, the press that houses the Mailer Review. And we just got out of a wonderful discussion and a preview of Mike Lennon's forthcoming authorized biography of Norman Mailer, and discussing Norman Mailer's broad life with women, and his marriages, his family, and the wonderful tapestry that is Norman's life. So far, we've had a day and a half of sessions. We're going to go to lunch here in a few minutes.
Who's the keynote for the lunch?
The keynote for the lunch is John Hemingway, of course, Hemingway's grandson, with his book is here as well. And,
I think it's interesting to note, too, that this is the first Mailer conference, the joint conference.
Correct, yes. This is the first joint conference. It features Mailer and Hemingway. Of course, our readings, which will be included, part of our rehearsal session. But our readings are both Mailer and Hemingway compatible. Thoughts on writing, on women, on bullfighting. Bullfighting. There's the bull. And, of course, on boxing. So we're having this joint conference. Next year we have a joint conference with James Jones and Norman Mailer. So a lot of strong connections between all of these literary lions. Not bulls, but literary lions.
Ching. Well, last night we saw Ken Vose's Papa. In its entirety. It was actually the first time that I think anyone in the program has seen it really in its entirety. Usually in the at residency we've seen excerpts of it.
It was a nice polished version too, a 4-camera stage production, complete with audience laughter, nothing canned, of course, and really pulled us in. It was a nice thing to see, start to finish. A great one-man, two-person show, but primarily it was Jordan playing Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
So it was a really great experience to see part of Hemingway's language come in, but also something surrounding that, a little bit of a paraphrasing and writing in Hemingway's style in order to communicate the man.
I think it's interesting, too, that, again, it's the first time that I'd seen it in its entirety, hearing some of the lines that were used that are Hemingway's, I think
correct. Yeah, there are some crossover lines, things that we've pulling out of things like the Paris Review.
Right.
There's of course his speech when he won the Pulitzer Prize, which is the speech in its entirety. Even though it's a brief speech.
Yeah.
I believe Ken Vose said that legally they could have only 14% of Hemingway's lines, and he had to write all around that and kind of capture him by way of language, of course. As a writer and as what might be even a public figure. So it's interesting to see that crossover, and we're going to try and do the same thing with Mailer.
We have 2 interviews, right, that we're going to be beyond, plus things from Prisoner of Sex.
Right. Both interviews come from the Paris Review. We've got excerpts from Prisoner of Sex. We have excerpts from things on boxing and existential errands. And of course, bullfighting. So there are
boxing,
and bullfighting, both from existential errands and some other wonderful pieces. So mano a mano's in there as well. Plenty of writing from both authors that we think hopefully we can capture both the men as well as Ken did in his play.